All right, let's take a look at how to tie the bowline and some variations. First, let's just do a basic bowline. Create a loop. It's really important to pinch that simple overhand loop between your thumb and index finger. That'll keep your hand out of the way. So here we have just a simple bowline. Now let's take a look at another variation with a backup knot on the loop. So this is exactly the same as the regular bowline that we just looked at and just tied. The only difference is when we're finished, we're going to end up with a pretty long bit of that working end, and we don't want that to potentially slip through the knot or get caught. So we'll do a simple overhand knot in this case. And of course, if we had a little more, we could do a double overhand for some additional security. Now let's look at another tie-off for the bowline called a Yosemite. And again, this will start exactly like the bowline, the basic bowline we've looked at. And see, we have quite a bit of long tail here. What would be even difficult to do a double overhand to tie this off. So for some additional security, we're going to take that working end, wrap it right around the loop, and then come right up through the little collar next to the standing end. Dress that really well. So by pulling on the loop itself and the standing end, that's how you would dress any bowline. Now we're left with a pretty long bit of working end as well next to the standing end, and as usual we want to do a backup knot. In this case we certainly have enough for a double overhand. Give us some additional security just in case the knot were to work itself apart and that free bit of working end would slide down and potentially through the bowline itself. This way it's much more secure. And finally, we'll take a look at the double bowline. This is a very strong knot used in climbing. And you see, we just basically take a loop like we do with a bowline and just create two loops, turning exactly the same direction. We do need to start with a lot of extra working end here for that extra loop and how we're going to tie this off. But it's going to essentially, so far, look the same as a standard bowline, just we start with a double loop. And now we end up with a long bit of tail. But in this case, what we're going to do is go straight through the loop that the standing end is currently going through. So we'll go straight up the back, through, and you'll see that the two bits of rope, working end and standing end, are parallel to each other. We'll dress that by tugging on the loop and the knot itself to make sure that that double loop is nice and strong. Then of course we'll do our usual backup safety knot to make sure we don't have a long portion of working end hanging out there.